have to say that integration is not a very easy process. It's rather a very painful and very lengthy process, both for the beneficiaries, for the refugees themselves, and for the grassroots organizations such as ours. But fortunately, the compassion that is accompanying these voluntary sector organizations, it kind of drives people to work harder and achieve what meant to be achieved. This is a very broad topic, obviously, but I will just stick to the very practical stuff that we are doing at Paiwand. So the ultimate indicator of integration, in my view, is for people who be members of the society. Sorry, I have to time myself. So members of the society with the education, employment, housing choices that is suitable for a decent life. So from the very first day when they arrive, I mean, I'm talking about integration in this context, assuming that somebody is has been accepted as somebody who can live in the UK. They have their remain to live and everything. Unfortunately, there are so many refugees or asylum seekers who are in the limbo, as Lisa pointed out. There's so many refugees. Even I know people who have been waiting for their status for 10 years, and they haven't had the right to work or study for 10 years. So now imagine how a person can work towards, or how we as an organization can work with him towards integration, which is the ultimate goal of everybody. So at Paiwand at the moment, we are running a few projects which helps people, and the main or the core project at the heart of our services is the community advocacy. Almost in every section of that project, we are trying to tackle employment problems, housing and welfare benefits, family issues. Almost in every part of this project, we are facing problems, but then we see the great impact in the end of the year when we actually analyze things that we are doing. When it comes to, we are obviously the very first point of contact for refugees when they arrive in the UK, and that's very useful. And when it comes to the basic practices such as need assessment, such as monitoring, such as referrals and stuff, it's fine. We are doing very well. But then what really comes on our way is a very structured policy with the collaboration of all organizations, either small organizations like ourselves or bigger organizations such as Refugee Council. There's a lack of single structure, so we can all work towards a single ultimate vision of integration, and also shared maybe resources, so that will save us time and effort and money to focus on the work that we have to do on the ground. So I hope we can contribute towards that in the future as well. But with the resources that we have at the moment and with the structure that we are working in, we try to help refugees in terms of all these issues that I named before, and also the mental health. We have three strands of that. We do advocacy work for them, which is about housing and welfare benefits related to their mental health problems. And also we do counseling with them, and we do psychoeducation workshops. In terms of we also do immigration advice project, which is very, very popular, and we have a very long waiting list of refugees. Youth is another part of the work that we are doing. It's providing activities, and also we have supplementary education for underachieved children. So for the new arrivals of refugees in the past few weeks, we did agree to use our center. Lisa was talking about the backlog. We agreed with the Home Office to help them with the cases which are hanging, basically, and we could contribute towards that, but that was before the influx of refugees in the last few weeks. So for that, I think in terms of the integration, it will be a very long journey, obviously, for us. At the moment, we are having difficulty accessing the refugees because the Home Office for some reason didn't put a structure in place to at least give us the opportunity to, from the day, to get involved with refugees and kind of be the middleman between them and the policymakers or the Home Office, because we obviously know better than anyone. We have the experience of being a refugee and then serving the refugees for 20 years. So it would have been so useful to get involved in the whole process and work out what really, I mean, we know the challenges, but we also could suggest the solutions for this. So in terms of the integration, there's obviously a few obstacles in the way that we already have with the even more established refugees, let alone the new arrivals. So there are a few areas that we can contribute towards that, but that needs to be kind of consulted with everybody else, looking at our resources and everything. So in terms of new arrivals, we predict that mental health would be the biggest issue. Domestic violence would be the biggest issue. And children's integration, at least in the school environment, would be a biggest issue. We have all the infrastructure to offer solutions for all these problems, but it will depend on the resources and support that we will be getting to actually start work in these areas. I will just go very briefly on each. So mental health problem, as you know, in Afghanistan, the war has been continuing for 45 years. Most social infrastructures have been damaged or ruined at all, and mental health is so embedded in the life of the families and the society as a whole that people don't see the mental health as an issue anymore. And there is a very challenging environment in which people look at mental health as a stigma, and they're not willing to seek support. So for that, there is two layers of support or should be available. One is the psychoeducation or awareness sessions for people to understand the importance of mental health and well-being of the mind. And secondly, and also it should provide why they should come forward and talk about it. And secondly, how we actually then treat that in a more culturally appropriate way. Secondly is domestic violence, of course, with mental health. One of the negative impacts of mental health is to put at risk the vulnerable members of the family, which are children, and in Afghan case, it's women as well. And domestic violence or child abuse is almost culturally, some of the practices are quite normal and accepted, which are not accepted here. So there will be a lot of work. And I think if given chance, our work with the social services and providing them training would be quite beneficial to the whole process.